Hi, good day everyone. So today I will be giving my first lecture on introduction, history, and other trends of group development. So group psychotherapy is as effective as individual therapy in treating a range of psychological problems. That is by Piper and Niksuk in 2004. Piper and Ogrodniczuk in 2004 claimed that brief group therapy is the treatment of choice for certain types of problems such as complicated grief, trauma reaction, adjustment problems, and existential concerns. And usually, in the United States, because they have this in so-called medical insurance, mostly of the medical insurance is accepting the brief group therapy because I think it only lasts for 15 sessions. So, what are the main benefits of group therapy? First is efficacy, applicability, and cost efficiency. So, given that group therapy is as efficacious as individual therapy and requires less therapist time, it appears to be more cost-effective treatment. So, this is mas mura. This is um, low cost compared to other therapies. So, in group process, what is group process? It consists of all the elements basic to the unfolding of a group from the time it begins to its termination. So this includes dynamics such as norms that governs a group, the level of cohesion, how trust is generated, how resistance is manifested, how conflict emerges and is dealt with. So you will learn more about this as we proceed with our lesson. So forces that brings about healing, inter-member reactions, and first stages in group development. So that is group process. So group process is also how things are happening in the group. Anything that happens in the group from pre-planning to its termination, it is what we call group process. So group is a collection of two or more individuals who meet in a face-to-face interaction interdependently with the awareness that each belongs to the group and for the purpose of achieving mutually agreed on goals. So people that gather together because they have mutual goals. So group work, encompasses all types of activities performed by organized groups. So anything that is done inside the group is group work. It can be task work group, psychoeducational group, psychotherapy, or counseling group. So, what is group work? So, group work is a broad professional practice involving the application of knowledge and skills in a group facilitation to assist an interdependent collection of people to reach their mutual goals. So, which may be intrapersonal or work related. So, the goals of the group may include the accomplishment of tasks related to work, education, personal development, personal and interpersonal problem solving, or remediation of mental and emotional disorder. So what are the techniques? So our leader intervention aimed at facilitating movement within a group. This refers to a leader's explicit and directive request of a member for the purpose of focusing on material, augmenting, or exaggerating effect, practicing behavior, or solidifying insight. So these are the tools and intervention used to facilitate what is going on in a group. So you will learn different techniques, different leadership styles in handling groups. So before 1900, groups are formed for functional or pragmatic reasons. Primary emphasis is to give information instruction, or correct a behavior. So group movement developed due to need for social reform and education. So immigrants and the poor receive special attention. It also focuses on promoting reciprocal relationship and increasing individual self-determination and self-respect. Social workers and physicians use group structure to increase awareness of self. Overall, the development of groups in the 1800s is a dynamic movement which includes contribution from psychology, sociology, philosophy, and education. Joseph Hersey Pratt in 1900 and in 1909 organizes the first formal group experience that was not principally psychoeducational or task group oriented. So his works with group of tuberculosis patients leads him to write about the dynamic that occurs within group settings. So these are the times in 1900. These are the times that during the time when TB is like COVID pandemic, COVID virus, that they still don't have cure for this for this bacteria. So for this lung problem. So according to this group of tuberculosis, were able to help one another. Were able to encourage one another. So he recognized the positive influence of group members to one another. So Joseph Hersey Pratt discovered the therapeutic power of groups. In 1900 and 1909, so again, in 1900 and in 1909, Joseph Hersey Pratt recognizes the positive influence of group members to one another. The therapeutic power of groups. Jesse P. Davis and Frank Parsons, founder of modern day counseling, start establishing vocational and moral guidance groups. So that is in 1900 and 1909. In 1910 and 1919, during the World War I, psychological group tests, alpha and beta intelligence tests are developed and administered. Groups are used to treat combat fatigue soldiers. During the decade, there is a growth in selected schools and organization on group guidance and where is that? Um, psychoeducational approaches in learning. In 1910 and 1919, Europe J. L. Morenos publishes philosophical paper on group methods under the name J. M. Levy. So if you know J. L. Moreno, he is the father of psychodrama. So his writing stressed the psychoanalytic and social psychological perspective of individuals working together. So in 1920 and 1929, Alfred Adler initiates a systematic form of group guidance and counseling known as collective counseling. So do you still remember Alfred Adler on birth order, lifestyle, recollection, etc.? So he employs his group technique with prison and child guidance population, and most importantly with families. So in 1920 and 1929, JL Moreno helps promote the growth of group work by employing theatrical techniques with people who are in mental turmoil. So this first steps of psychodrama he calls chatter of spontaneity. So you will learn more